Mhm. Oh, it was interesting. Do we need more chairs? Because that's all them, right?
Talking.
There's 8 there. Then
Oh
you.
my gosh.
The
That's the new one?
Yeah.
I
Dude,
don't like it.
the
You can
audio
see
in this
everything.
is like super crispy. Like I got to hear the playback from last time. Yeah, everybody. No, it'll pick you up. We sound better than city commission. So,
So fancy, Maribel.
Those are the microphones right there in the middle.
Here?
Yeah. But I think of everything.
Yeah.
I know. You know what? Let me put it on mute.
I'm just gonna hold your cup till it breaks.
Well, yes. If you bring me just a blank cup, I can just make it for you. We
It's
have
not the same. It's not the same, sir.
vinyl, it'll be the same. It just won't look like it's printed on.
Yeah.
Once we get our sublimation printer, we can do that too.
So when you get the sublimation printer, you're gonna remember how hard I worked on the grant to find you funds.
Yeah, I'll make you a custom cup.
The state of the library.
Not touch.
Or like when we get the laser engravers or the glow forge, you can do all that. We'll just make you like outreach and then we'll just do Courtney and all this fancy stuff.
Yeah,
Just bring us the mud.
sounds like fun. Hello, welcome.
August minutes. Everybody received a copy. So I don't know if y'all had a chance to look over them. All right, do we have any corrections on the minutes? No, all right, do we have a motion to approve the August 8th minutes?
So move to approve.
I said. All right, we can go ahead and take a vote. All in favor of approving the August 8th minutes? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great. Okay, so minutes for August 8th have been approved. All right, citizen comment, do we have a citizen
We
comment?
do not have to come.
Mr. Vanilla.
And we can go ahead and move on to item number 4, the discussion and action on the updated library policy.
As you recall, those, the policies were tabled, because Mr. Pineda, I wanted to see the other part of it, it was sent to the board and to him, and so, if you have any questions, Melinda can have the presentation again if the board would like to wish, or Mr. Pineda, do you have any questions?
No, I looked at it. I guess the only question I had was, there were very specific changes. So I was curious, were you responding to specific problems? Were you working from like a best practices template? Like,
Best practices template, and one of the things that we want to do, and again, as I stated before, this manual had never been updated. And so we want to do it, and we want to do it a standard practice, so we can make changes. And so one of the things we were even prepared to make some changes on this, approve it and considering some changes. And we're going to be bringing up to you, if not every year, every other year, because library services by nature are changing if you want to continue to survive. And so, yes, they're specific for a reason, but we'll change them as we go along.
I had no concerns. I looked at it, like I said, it looked as if maybe it was based on the best practices.
Best practices.
So I have no issue with that.
All right, we can go ahead and take action on the updated library policy. All those in favors of approving the updated library policy, go ahead and vote aye.
Aye.
All those against approving the library policy?
Aye.
Nobody's name.
Nobody's name, all right. So we can go ahead and approve that policy. And then we have item number 5, the discussion and action on the library hours.
Yes, if you recall, I talked to you about the library hours and the changing from the current hours for 2 reasons. One was staff initiated. Second one was to use the hours to maximize the utilization of our staff and services. And then the other one is to make it easier for our patrons to understand the schedule. Before, it was 3 different types of schedule. If you notice the left side, current hours was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, one type of hour. And then Friday, Saturday, another type of hour, 10 to 6, 10 to 6, and then Sunday, 1 to 8. The proposed hours are 2 different types, 10 to 9, Monday to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 to 6. And the board, for all intents and purposes, approved it. We also increased 1 more hour, so that's good for our public. And I just felt compelled to look at the actual data myself, because I'm a math person and I like to see data, and definitely I agree with the math team that the last 2 hours on Sunday basically was the lowest amount of average, 3 per hour. So it wouldn't be the higher percentage was in the early part. So I'm comfortable with this. And again, it's a win-win for all of it. Most importantly, our public. 1 more hour of operation and to better serve our public.
Mr. Guerra, I have a question. I have a question about you, 10 to 6. Do you really have any people up until 6 o'clock on Sunday?
It was very few that,
Would it be 1 to maybe to 5?
but
I was just gonna.
we don't want to, the last thing we want to do.
Difference if we were gonna say, put the hour, because on Sunday, everybody's home watching football and things like that. And that's what I'm saying.
And that's what we would like propose to keep it at 6. I think reducing hours, it doesn't, it's not good practice. So at 6, that's already like,
It's okay with 6?
that is perfectly okay. It was, you can see like it was downward trend at the very 10 or 11, it was like this. It was like going up and then a 6. So 5 and 6 is the same amount, so 6 is perfect. It's the same pattern of hours. We want to eliminate a different type of hours, make it 5, and we want to make it as easier and less complicated for our patrons.
Yeah, and the last hour you all can just pick up.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good.
I would just add, I think, yeah, having consistent weekend hours
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, the win-win as far as the staff is happy because it was staff initiated. It's much safer at night to leave early, and the public 1 more hour. So it's all a win-win. And I really appreciate your support. So just make it official with a vote.
Okay, we can go ahead and take a vote on the proposed library hours. All in favor? Aye.
And just to make it, it'll be the first Sunday in October. It goes hand in hand. That's the way we operate with the annual report with the state libraries and arts commission. That way it doesn't mix fiscal years. And so the first Sunday, which is October 2nd, will be the first Sunday. Now we're gonna be advertising that this is coming, and we're gonna notify the public in advance, almost a month, a little bit less than a month, but that, again, we appreciate your support because.
All right, we have item number 6, the library report.
We have a youth service.
Hi, my name is Katie, work with the Youth Services Department. Next slide, please. So for September, we are having, September 1st started the library card sign up month. We're celebrating by encouraging patrons to bring their friends and family to the library. So aside from that, we are doing a giveaway. So any patron or any current patron that brings in a new friend or a family member, they both get added into a separate giveaway. So that's just encouraging, getting more patrons inside, more patrons inside the library. And then for those that are new and renewal accounts, we are also giving them little small goodie bags that we had like leftover. So we have some coupons and candy that they're receiving. I know it's been 12 days. Right now in the main branch, we do have 152 new accounts. For South Smoke, we have 39 and total of 210 renewed accounts. So in those 12 days. Next slide. Another activity that we're doing is become a BPO kid voter. So we're pretty much promoting voting for the kids to get the idea of voting. So we're having them like fill out with the parent a little registration card, or it's just a piece of paper. And then when they and then we're taking a picture of them. I mean, of course, with the approval of the parent. And then we're gonna create little like ID cards, photo ID cards for them. And then on September 29th, they're gonna be able to come and vote on their like favorite movie. So right now we did movies, but next we can do a different activity, anything like another, what kind of activity would you like to, see in the library, and it's just becoming like a voter and participating in that. So.
Quick question.
Yes.
I'm new to BISD this year. BISD, is that a holiday, election day?
They just changed it.
That's new. Okay, so I guess there's gonna be kids don't have school on election day
No, for their safety.
for their safety.
Yeah, because you're gonna have the public going to the schools. And so they want to make sure, you don't know who's coming in.
Yeah.
So that's why they did.
I guess I'm asking if could there be election, I don't know, just kids' activities that day? Parents probably stuff to work, wondering what's happening in election day. That's a new holiday.
Okay, well, take into account, yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea. They can use their cards to vote.
There you go.
Yeah. Next slide. I know, I think a couple of meetings ago, we talked about like creating more scavenger hunts and more escape room or activities. So I know for October 13th and the 25th, we are gonna have a Fright Night escape room. So our staff, 2 of our staff members are actually working on it. So they're, you know, they're creating escape room, like, you know, the setup. So I know that's to come on October. Next slide. So we do have on October, October 18th, we are gonna have spooky STEM night. We did one last year and it was we actually got a big crowd for it. So pretty much it's different stations. So one's gonna have a slime, treats, experiment, and monster. So they get to like rotate, and it's
The roof, they're repairing the roof. Yeah, the library had in our work plan, they're putting a brand new roof after 28 years.
I thought it was very much.
Yeah, that's next slide. And then the last one for October, we're gonna have the trick or treat. So pretty much we're gonna have different vendors or other organizations, not profit, that can come in, you know, they can decorate. I set a guideline so they can decorate their vehicles or they can wear costumes. And then we're gonna set up the parking lot here in the main branch. And they'll be able to, for the kids, you know, safety issues, they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna be able to trick or treat within the area. So I know the sheriff's department already approved the fire, or they already said yes. The fire department, I know like other schools have said yes. So we're just waiting.
For a security, you mean, for the event, or?
No, like their organizations are gonna participate. So on October 20th, but it's gonna be open for public, you know, they can just come in and we're gonna go ahead and promote it as an open. So we'll have food and trick or treat for them.
And this is the first time?
Yes, this is the first time I believe we're doing
Will you send us dates on all this so that we can kind of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Calendar, as soon as we get the calendars and the flyers, I will send them out to you.
So is that gonna take over the entire parking lot, or?
no, we did select an area where it's big enough for maybe like 20 vehicles with enough space between them, and we are requesting barricades and to block off the area, just the entrances, or not the entrances, but that part, and then the vehicles should be the ones to be like the tables and
So people have room to park and
Yeah.
get down.
yeah. And that's and I think that's it.
What age for the STEM night? What age group is that?
Usually that one is for 6 to 12. I know sometimes we do get smaller kids, but I mean, we have taken mates or other activities that we do.
Like, you don't turn them away if they're younger than 6, right? Like,
No, yeah, we like sometimes we'll have parents when they come, they're there with the little ones, so we'll just give them like the track. Anything, you know, they can cover.
For the library card sign up, will you be designating like a specific date for a drive, or is it just any day of the month? Like actually have a drive on a specific date? Or you just dedicate?
It's the whole month.
Yeah, that one's sorry. That one's for the whole month, so it's gonna end, we'll start in September 1st, it's gonna end at the end of the month. I don't remember the exact date, I think it was in October, the first week of October that we're gonna do the giveaway, and we'll call the patrons who entered and stuff.
and when you said family members for that, can it be like the same family?
Yeah,
Like, if my husband doesn't have a card in it too?
yeah, so so pretty much just an idea, it's the idea to get a new patron, so I never had one, you know, not sure.
Are you gonna do some kind of like fine, you know, sometimes they collect candies, or, you know, the city does it for traffic tickets, where you bring something to.
The Delta Fine program?
Forgiveness of fines, because I owe 10 cents. 10 cents, but anyway, I don't know, I just.
sort of some kind of amnesty. We're working on several things. We even worked on the adoptify for, and then also
did
for
that in
pets, yeah. Instead of finding food and then we give the food to the animal shelter. So yeah, definitely.
More private Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
We can work on.
You know, and you might already be doing it, it's just that we haven't.
Yeah, I know we did, was it 2 months ago, they did the adoptive fines, so pretty much anybody that wanted to donate.
Pay it forward.
Pay for someone that was fine, of course, there was donations to the, but the, yeah, so. That was one of them.
Well, thank you. Go ahead and move on to adult services.
That would be me. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Berta Gomez. And so I'm gonna be talking about the events, the things that we did for the month of August. That's what I made the presentation for at both branches, Main and Southmost. So this month, well, last month, August, kids were returning to school and we were thinking, why not do something so that parents can start cooking or providing healthy meals to kids. So I talked with Vanessa and Esmeralda Flores so that we can have their staff members, their department come to the library and give these cooking classes.
The health department. Just-
The health department, yes. And so they came in every Monday, the first 4 Mondays of August. They came in and it was just for 30 minutes that we had scheduled that meeting for that this event. But sometimes it did extend over to 7 p.m. because they really liked it or people came in later and she didn't want to leave them without getting the recipe or trying it out. Those are some of the pictures from Southmost and you can tell that they really liked it. We didn't have less than 10 people in each event. Like on the last event that we had was here at Main, there was 8 and the very first one up to 27. Up to 27. And the second and third event was actually 18 people and 18 people. So the people are interested and I let them know, we're talking about doing this thing again. And I was proposing November. However, they said maybe December. But they're also interested too, and we're gonna discuss to see if we repeat. The healthy snacks that we did, sorry, just very quickly. First one was the one that you can see there is, it's about creating a little nugget of like peanut butter, oatmeal, and I'm not too sure about the rest of the ingredients. But it was a little something, like a little cookie that they can just, after making with their hands, they can put it in the refrigerator. They can eat it afterwards. You don't have to cook. And the other, because they only shared 2 recipes. Sorry, I was kind of skipping around. The other one was apple donuts. And I think they used some cinnamon to cover it up. And also a broccoli salad for adults. The apple donut was for the children. And that was, they did those 2 recipes on the last 2 Mondays that they were.
So they're like quick, healthy snacks that they can.
Quick and easy.
I like that.
They provided the food. We didn't, like they brought it in, they did everything. All we had to do is just provide, like a staff member, library staff member was here. We promoted it. They also promoted it too as well. And provide the space.
That would be great if we can continue, like you said, maybe either November or December, that would be. Perfect.
One thing that we're doing, and again, it started with the book trail, where we're trying to collaborate with the department within the city to work together with it. Like right now we have, I'm gonna deviate a little bit. We have the health department started an initiative of providing salads for all city employees. And the library of Southmost is one of the places where people can come in and get some salad and a water. And so we're trying to collaborate with the health department, with parks, with fire, with the police too. The police came over and did some raspas, I believe, and some popcorn. So we're trying to collaborate to have one city to work together. So it no longer silos. We all work together to serve our citizens.
I think that's just, I know the Brownsville Wellness Coalition, they used to have a cooking class thing called La Cocina Alegre. They might have a program and sometimes they do the farmer's market produce. That might be maybe something you guys could collaborate.
Yeah, Ms. Napkin, I can add to that. Actually, we are working with them to possibly do like a garden at the Southmost Library. We have a lot of property and maybe grow some product and then, yeah, and then also use our cafe area to make it, but that's, we're gonna work with wellness.
I belong to the garden club. And that would be a wonderful project for us, you know, to help out. You know, if they have meetings and to guide them. And the other thing, what a coincidence, I was contacted today by the Heart Institute, the clinic, that they have a doctor there that's willing to go talk to parents, you know, like we're talking about health, maybe careful about diabetes or something like that. So I would like to see if maybe, yeah, you know, if you set up a meeting that we could invite him because he's willing to change his hours to accommodate the community.
What's his name?
I think it's, I'm gonna get you the information. I think it's Dr. Wilmus. And I'll call you to give you because I was in a hurry trying to get it right. And I'll call you. But is that feasible that it could be possible that if you have, you know, that we have classes for adults like, you know, weight, diabetes, which is so prevalent in this area?
The answer is yes. In fact, Courtney will be talking something about our
Okay,
research.
well, I'll contact you.
I think Dr. Gomez seems to be very popular with laws and other foods to be eating with grains, things like that. So I think they're good.
Yeah, and
And
then,
I won't promote Weight Watchers because they're not, you know, they have to join, but that's something that's good.
Yeah.
You know, to start things that you keep those.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that.
Thank you. Now, the computer classes, they're moving forward. We're having more people than we had before. With the last class having 24 people, the last class, and the class before that was 22. I'm making sure that we have at least, aside from myself, 3 more staff members who are open to the people and approachable and ready to help them out with any questions that they have. The classes are bilingual. It's every single Tuesday from the month of August all the way till the end of October. At Southmost, we have it in the mornings from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30, and then 5 to 7 in the evening here at Mayo. Most of them are beginners. And we were talking about during the month of August, we were talking about computer parts, capabilities, the internet, and email. How to create an email or how to even log in. The internet, what they can search for, what is a browser and what is the address bar and all of those things. We also give them breaks because I know it's 2 hours long. And sometimes they step out on their own, but come back. Like the man that you see right there in the wheelchair, he has to take a break. He only types with one hand. The other 2 members, they're from BISD, they're teachers, they're coming to our class. They're very, very active. We talk to everybody. We try to get to know them. And so the other lady too, she's from ERP. I kind of remember every single thing about them because I tried to get to know. The other people that are there, they're mostly regulars. Maybe 1 or 2 are new. In every single class that we had in the 4 classes already, we've had 1 or 2 that come in new. Like every week there's a new person. So, let's see.
They can come in at any time
Yes, they
to
can.
start new.
We accept everyone.
as long as they're willing to learn what we're teaching on that day. That's the only thing. But we do put out the schedule or the curriculum of like what we're teaching in every single day. So they know,
So at what time are the one here at the main? Like
5 to 7
5 to 7 on Tuesday?
on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And it's every single Tuesday. We wanted to keep it consistent. And
One of the things that I want to add, that I make it a point to go to those classes impromptu like that. And one of the things that I noticed is that what you said, that how our staff gel with our patrons and how comfortable the patrons feel, because for some people, computers might be very intimidating. But we select staff that want to do it, not that have to do it. And that's very important. And as you can see, Bertha is talking with a lot of passion. And it's that's what it's all about, because a good experience is the best advertisement. And so that's one of the things that I like about our staff, that they want to do that. And the staff, the patient feel very comfortable. Yes, sir.
Follow about these classes, but just generally, adult service, youth services. So I know that people can volunteer, I think 16 and up, if I understood. I mean, are there lots of other volunteers for the different activities the library is doing, or?
Yeah,
activities? And
there's a lot of volunteers. The only thing, there's a little bit of red tape as far as how they volunteer. They have to be approved by this HR. Make sure that everything's okay. But yes, but yeah, we have volunteers because sometimes they want to volunteer, and sometimes because they have to volunteer, either because they have a ticket or a fine, what have you. But yeah, to the court. But yeah, everything has to go through that. But we have them doing craft, depending on their talents. The only thing they cannot do is go into our computers and patient records and all that. That's sensitive. But and things that they can do, by all means, yeah, we always need volunteers.
You considered like giving them a certificate if they finish like the sequence or.
They do get a certificate through the adult computer literacy class, both at the end of the term for our groupings of classes, but we've also introduced North Star Learning, and we'll be opening up our LinkedIn Learning, which will give them an opportunity to have a proctored test on that computer skill that will create a certificate for themselves.
Then they can put that on their.
They can put that on their social media. They can take that to when they're doing job interviews to show that they have computer competencies.
on the last day when we had a little mini celebration, everybody was happy. And I made sure to give them out certificates based on their words per minute and the accuracy. And they were taking pictures with us, people, because they liked those certificates.
Of course.
And so that is the new addition that the computer classes are having this time around. This August through October, they will be using the new program of North Star that does certify them for specific areas. Like the ones that are weird teaching, for example, they'll certify them on email, or they'll certify them on internet
For social media.
abilities and stuff, media and stuff like that.
I don't get on the computer because my daughters tell me, mother, you're gonna mess it up. So I'm paranoid.
I hear that.
I already got hacked, you know, so I want to come to your classes.
Oh, and then
Yes.
I got tech suits, it's fine, it happens.
Maybe too late. There's no computers. It's okay.
And mother don't. Oh,
Okay, we went for art.
I can do emails. I can do.
Like sunset, move over, I'll do it for you.
Oh, mine are not.
Oh, it's important thing about in these classes, we don't do it for you. We make you, well, not make you, right, but like show you.
Encourage.
We give you the confidence to do it yourself.
Yeah. And that's what they really like also in these classes, that we show them the patience, that if they make a mistake, like it's okay. Like we show them.
Mother again.
And so then during the month of August, on Wednesdays, we were gonna try new activities. So on the first Wednesday, we tried art night and we did vision boards. That was the setup. We did it here. We had 6 people. Then on the following Wednesday, we had a library tour. Not so many people came. Also, the resume workshop, Southmost did better than us. And for the financial 8 nights. Sorry about that.
Typo.
Yes. Also the same, like about 5 people only. We didn't have, during these days, we didn't have so many people. We did do the flyers, we did put it up on social media. But we just we didn't have a lot of turnout on these. Maybe because they were new or.
It's because it's August. There's
Yeah.
no summer.
Everybody's busy.
Yeah, I know especially for the resume and the financial aid, and I know that high school seniors are working on that already, so maybe we can.
This was too early.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too, for the FAFSA and
Mhm.
financial aid,
Yes.
that we should do it for October, beginning October.
Yeah.
Starts.
And we need to get volunteers like for the kids, because I think they have to do community hours also.
Yeah, but they would.
And that they're aware, as you know, volunteer at the Friends of Library or anymore, so we can go ahead and assist them also.
And just to throw this out, I mean, I know people have to volunteer, like community service, but right, like on National Honor Society, they have service requirements. So, yeah.
So for scholarship,
Student groups.
for scholarship, they do.
So we're still working on our book club. We had opened it up to like bring your own book for the book club. It's also something that still needs to improve. Also for like collaborations. With the workforce, we have been having VR nights, the virtual reality experience. Have you guys ever worn those headsets before? Well, through them, I don't like it. I do get dizzy. With these headsets, they can see and try to train what trade skills they would like to pursue a career on. Like, for example, hospitality or automobile repair, being a mechanic. Because with these headsets, instead of just playing games, you're actually maneuvering with tools. And you're actually having to turn and do stuff like that. That's what these headsets will show you. And so they've already been, they came, I think, I'm sorry, maybe during the month of June. And then they came in again during the last month. We haven't had more than 10 people. But this second time in August that they came, we did have more than June. Because it's getting out there, it's getting out.
Is this something that we're gonna visit again in maybe October, or was this just a?
I don't know, but we can. They're open to it because they want the space to. They really think that the library is the best place to promote it.
Maybe the low attendance was due to exposure, so if we continue doing it, maybe we'll have a better response.
And most of these programs are new, so we're just trying it out. And then based on and try it again, and again, it's all about data. And so again, I like the fact about, you know, my son doesn't know how to use a screwdriver, so we need to go back to the old school about manual hands, you know, so we're just trying it out. We will bring them up because it's just trying things out.
So the headsets are owned by the workforce that
Yes.
for that purpose.
They have 12 and they brought all of them. They can bring them all.
They also, as part of the collaboration, have invited us to do outreach with them for different job fairs. So we will be going to their event in October to promote the library in their setting, as well as them coming with us.
They have done that. This is gonna be our second time going, and it is so fun. The first time it was with middle school students from different schools. I don't remember which schools from the ISD, but we spoke and exchanged toys or stuff that we give out to the students for, and there were a lot, more than 300 students. And they were into it, or even if just they were passing by, boom, here you go, come visit our library, you know. So at least they know we're there. And sometimes we were the popular table versus the army. And other people that we're talking to, that the adult services is talking to, is ARP as well. ARP this month, we're gonna be having the recipe. Next month, it's on October, yes, where people are gonna get together, they're gonna make their own recipe cards, exchange their ideas and the recipe.
Especially the big
I'm
good.
not gonna say no.
Bring us back. We would-
So we're doing that with ARP. Also with BISD and ACE. With BISD, I'm talking to Berta, also just like me, Esparta. And I spoke one time with Mrs. Wolf from ACE. And so we're getting to know each other. We're gonna try to see how we can help out each other and help the adults with library services.
What do these people do that you're talking about with BIC?
Oh, with this, Ms. Esperanza? No, Esparza. Mrs. Esparza, yes. Well, they're gonna, we're planning on a laboratory with.
Esparza is not library, she's what?
Adult continuing
Little
education.
poems. I just wonder how they're related at how they're gonna be able to help from BIC.
Well, it's through ACE.
Adult
Adult continue. Adult,
Ms. Esparza. Berta Esparza.
they have a new director, left, right?
Oh, okay. And so we're gonna have library tour for both branches. We're planning on that. We're planning. I'm still working on it. So that, the people that are gonna be coming in are the students from ACE. And they're gonna want the tour to be in Spanish.
Great, well, thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you're doing and we go ahead and move on to makerspace services.
Yes, Ms. Gonzalez, I would like to introduce, previously we had discussed about Anthony Chavarria, excuse me. I'm very proud of him because he is a new makerspace advisor, and I'm proud of him because he started as a part-time. And now he moved on to makerspace advisor, who's integral part of the future of the library. And so he has grown as far as his career, but also the attitude and the willingness to learn more and more. So without further ado, Anthony, welcome.
Hey everyone, Anthony Chavarria, your makerspace advisor. Next slide. So in August, we had a really busy month in August. We had our early read events at both Main and Southmost. 110 participants at Main, and we had 74 participants at Southmost for both programmings combined. It's a really popular event that kind of gets the word out about makerspace. People come in, they're able to create something with their hands. They're able to walk away with it, and it allows us to not only reach them and promote the library, but promote all the services that we have to offer as far as makerspace is concerned. Since we have it usually where the makerspace area is, we get questions about all the equipment. I'm able to give them a tour while we have the program going, what we're able to provide. For September, we're all right now. Yeah, right now we have the VR going at Southmost branch. We have VR gaming, just to get them in the library and get them, like, oh, the library is a good place to visit. We have gaming, we have makerspace, we have all these tools that are disposable, and it's exciting just hearing the public, being able to talk to them about our services. And then on the 19th, we'll have it here at the main branch. Next slide. And then our heat press has been getting some traffic. This is something we've been trying to push since it's just been there. We've had patrons come in, we have, for example, the bag there. We had some patrons come in and make little goodie bags for their kids for their birthday parties using the heat press. They were with one of the computers, design all of that, cut the vinyl out using our machines and start, I don't know how to use it, and they were pressing it themselves. It's really exciting. To add to that, we had our waiver approved so that patron comes in, we're able to, we teach them the machine, sign the waiver, and they're able to use it. 3D print requests, they're flying. I know I have 30 up there, but since then I've had 10 more come in, and we have those machines pretty much running nonstop at here at Southmost branch. So the services, they're picking up, and it's great to see. And we have all walks of life, people just trying to get into the hobby, students trying to prototype their inventions from high school to college. They've come in, it's great. And then, yeah, it's really nice just seeing their reactions when they see it, they get their print. It's like they were able to take it from the computer that they designed it to an actual concept, and they're holding it in their hands. It's really nice. And we've gone to a couple of outreaches where you see the big giant hammer. We had people holding that. They really enjoy it. And it's pretty good. Next slide. So some of our ongoing things, we're procuring some equipment, editing computers, laser engravers, large format printers, and some more 3D printers. All of these are just to improve quality of life at both branches, to get people in here to get their ideas off the ground. We keep getting asked, well, are you guys getting this? How can we do, like, I want to make some small business be able to do that with most of the equipment we have on here and the stuff that's coming in. Yeah. And then October, we have more STEAM-oriented programming for everyone, just to coincide with the youth services and their STEAM week. So we want to kind of have a theme going for every month that we have programming. We have arts and crafts on August. September, we have more gaming. And October is more STEAM-oriented, so we get the ideas flowing. November, it's a little mix of both arts and math and science. It's great. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. You got any questions?
Is there a charge to use like the heat press, like for the vinyl or for anything?
It depends. If like the patrons that came in, they brought their own materials. The only thing they paid for was the vinyl that we had, but it's cheaper to purchase it here than to go out and get it out the store, because
Right.
I'm able to show them how to more effectively use the material and get more out of it. Like they printed 6 bags, they only use 1 sheet of vinyl. $2, that's all they paid for that. As opposed to maybe triple that at some other place.
Or a couple of questions. This is first come, first serve. The equipment.
For the most part, yes. Like for example, for the heat press, as long as somebody's available to supervise and teach them how to use it, they can go ahead and start using it. 3D printers, if it's a first come, first serve, they go as they come in the queue, and then we have some prints that take a couple of days, so they get moved down if we have to print in a couple of minutes. But I mean, everybody's really excited when they come in and they see their stuff. Like that's what.
I'm just curious because I think that's where it's getting out. Any complaints about wait time? So I'm just curious.
Not yet. Everyone's the turnaround. Like normally we give them 2 weeks just to make sure that, because we don't want to give them something that's subpar. We want to make sure that the print or whatever they requested is good quality. But most of the turnaround time usually at max 3 days, and they're ready for pickup. We have a patron that's been requesting cookie cutters, and they've been getting their small business going.
But I was going to ask that too. Do you find, I guess, in terms of numbers, is it the same people using it or new people?
It's a mix of both. We have our frequent customers, and then we have the new ones that's worth getting around. They're starting to come back and spend more prints. It's picking up compared to before when we'd have 1 or 2 a week. It's like 1 every day.
You have a cricket machine.
Yes, we have 2 crickets and a silhouette at both branches. Yeah, and then we have a couple that I keep asking, when can I start using them? So I'm just paying the computer and get you going.
What frustrates me is what a great job you all are doing, because I've been here for a while. Library has improved 1,000% of what we are offering. But how do we get it up to the public, to the schools? Now, we just scheduled the principals meeting on October the 5th, where we're gonna give all this information that we're finding.
Brenda.
And is there any sort of a public information program, TV, that's constantly running that would give all this information that we're, like that little, what we're gonna present?
Yeah, the best thing is to put it in social media. Right now, Brownsville TV is not working to the best right now with the communication marketing. But social media, and the best thing is going to outreach and the word of mouth. That's what we're trying.
City doesn't have a public information,
At the moment, they're working on that because there's been a turnover. So there's short staff on that, but eventually, yes, Brownsville TV.
because I mean.
And Brownsville TV is only for anybody that has Spectrum cable. And so as many people do not have cable anymore, so it's very limited. So the best thing is social media. We have several platforms for social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So, and then again, word of mouth, outreach, when we go to BISD. So it's getting out there, Ms. Ayala. It's just a matter of them coming in, and once they see it, once you see it in.
But how do they see it? You see, to me, it's a greatest kept secret of what we have here. Cause I don't know about you, but I'm very impressed about everything that, that's being done. I mean, see, I mean, I saw it come from nothing to what it is now. And I'm just, how do we get it out there? I've been pushing and pushing, finally got it.
Yeah. So all of us working together to talk about it and.
Now, what I told him, that I have my friends, 10 of us, that I'm gonna schedule a little tour with him to show us all the things that are available, so they can get the word of mouth and get it out also.
We do have a lot of like tours that teachers, like BISD teachers, they bring their students, other schools also. Is it BISD? Yeah, it's like their the field trips, yeah. They bring in their, especially during summer, so we were able to show them, like we show them inside the makerspace room, like the heat press, and of course, they were not able to use it at that time, especially if they're the parents.
But this was during the summer, not during school year. See, this is why I've been back calling, finally got me out to talk to all the principals, and I started, so they can schedule field trips for the kids.
Yeah. So
they can see, South Home, look at what they're offering now. Look at what you're offering here. And they just don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, like during summer, we did have like we had the dome. So that's something that we started doing again. I know that was previously used. So BISD did some of the classes came and part of the ACE programs came and saw and I know we recently had some schools, but I know they're like across the street, but they're for BISD, it's a little hard to.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
But we're only concentrating on BISD. We have to get all the public, all the private schools, IDEA, all of those kids.
No, yeah, we do have like Kenmont. I recently did a.
IDEA and Jubilee.
I have a lot of contact with Jubilee. We do a lot of outreach programs for them too. So it's not just BISD.
Yeah, we need to reach everybody, not just BISD.
Have y'all been presentations for organizations like AARP and
I know we recently
Rotary?
had one for that Yes Coalition, which it was other
Because I know we have presentations to community people and nonprofit orgs every Friday morning when we have a Rotary.
I know originally
At 7 o'clock in the morning, though. That's early.
Well, let me share with you that Brenda and another young man, it's a 15-minute presentation, and it shows all of this. So that's what we should be promoting to the organizations that you're talking about. Make it a word of mouth, get it going.
We've also done presentations for
On Fridays, 7 o'clock in the morning.
for ARP. We have done,
ARP, when we have our scheduled meetings, I'll ask Veronica to contact.
we have had meetings with them on their Facebook Live already, where we've discussed adult computer classes.
Yeah.
And other services, including our notaries.
and then we're trying to get our marquees working also because we.
Todavía no.
Yeah.
No, the one here.
One year's work, yeah, we just, at Southmost, Ms. Ayala, we sent another letter September 6th to PUB, and it's in their hands, and they should be done this week. But I need your help.
El día que me muera, quiero que me traigan la muerte porque nunca va a llegar.
No obstante, nosotros, Ms. Ayala, I literally saw the memo from Ms. Helen.
For science student and
I can't, you know, I can't. Can you go over a little bit? I want to be.
I'm a library science student and I'm curious, I've gone to different libraries and I don't know if you'll have any memorandums of understanding with the ISD. Like where there are formal agreements where like, it's kind of like maybe scratch my back and I'll scratch your back. Because some like the library in Rio Grande City does, so. For instance, they both give library cards to each other and, you know, Rio Grande City has a lot of school books that the students can check out and stuff like that they have. So they can help each other out, I just didn't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, by all means.
And there's no memorandum from BAD, there never has been, but we work with them all the time. They're aware of our services, but there's no, officially, there's no memorandum of understanding. Anybody from the city or the county can get a library card with us. They're aware of what we have to offer. We just have to relentless communication all the time and remind them. And we do give out tours. BAD is aware of it. Our librarians, the librarians from BAD get the newsletter from us and things like that. So they're aware. It's just, to be honest with you, COVID got in the way. And so we're again, we started the first week 100, now 6,000 a week. So we're getting there in a year and a half that we've been open. So it's just a matter of getting the momentum. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say that I think many of our community members, once they have a connection to the library, comes to the library. I remember when I did leadership Brownsville, one of the things they do is they do a tour of the library, and I remember I was amazed. I had no idea you all had all the things that you have. And I think little by little, as more people go through those programs and they share that with their families.
Yes.
I think the outreach is happening.
Yeah, and again, Miss Courtney, basically that's one of her main duties, and she's doing a wonderful job, and she'll present about this, and I know she's already writing notes about what we can do. So we are doing, but it takes time, but it takes all of it. And I'm glad you said that. In my tenure here, I've never had a more, I don't want to get emotional, more involved, not necessarily staff, but a board. Before the board was not involved, you guys are our greatest advocates. So we need your help for you to, all of us working together. I know it's cliche, it takes a village, but we work in there. We created a position just for that. And so it's just a matter of the snowball effect, getting momentum. You know, Anthony said that it started with once a week, and now so people are hearing. It's just we just need to. We also have to be careful that when you pray for rain. Be careful.
Yes. I'm afraid.
Be afraid of the mud. So we need to be careful because we are short-staffed, and even though I don't complain about that, but we have to be careful that we don't have too much because we are 11 vacancies or 12 vacancies. So we need to be careful. Again, I think the trust is both ways. So we are doing a great job. And as little by little, as we get more, we're gonna get a compensation. So hopefully that help in promoting and bringing people in. We are short librarians, we are short staff, library aides. And so I think we're doing great. And the more, as we get more staff, then we kind of be cautious not to make sure that we don't aim high and then we underserve. I don't want to do that. So I think we're doing good, but all of us working together, I think it's helping and we're moving in the right direction.
This is a fantastic board. This never happened before.
Exactly.
They're here.
Yeah.
It was non-assistant, the meeting, nobody attended and everything like that. But just the same way, just a suggestion one, the same way that we have volunteers for Friends of the Library, why can't we have volunteers for the library? To help, you know, like you say, you're short staffed, that maybe when you have an activity that they can come assist, that they can come help you.
And we do.
And that they have their little, you know, the Friends of the Library. Because Friends of the those is what the difference between the Friends of the Library to what it is now. So that's what I'm saying. No, I see. That's why I'm frustrated. You're doing such wonderful work. And we just need to get it out there because you can influence so many people, so many kids and expose them.
Yeah. And again, one of the things that, one thing leads to another. One of the things, the Dino Zone, that has been a great success, and we were interviewed, and we're gonna come out in the late fall in the Texas Library Journal. And so Ron is gonna be in the map, where I'm working with a representative to put a resolution for the library to be recognized for the state. Again, those are things that we're working on, but I think little by little, and again, working together. I don't wanna say the word, let's continue working hard and just being patient. And we're moving. I understand the passion about moving up, and we are going up. It's just, and people are aware of it, but we're trying hard. Courtney works very hard. All of us try to represent the library, and everywhere we go. I was in two events today that I had to. I think I'm the library director coming over. We were in a groundbreaking of another event, so we try to be out there before we weren't. So we're moving forward to that. And again, we're doing a lot of outreach, and people are aware. But yes, more people are aware, and that's our goal. That is our aim, and it starts with you.
One, I'm not being critical at all about your staff. I think doing that, how can we as a board, is what I'm saying, help you. And I see, you know, promote and exactly what we're doing. I'm not, no, I think.
And give us leads.
My baby was a Southwest Library,
Yes.
stepchild of this city, the way it was. And so it's a totally, wow, now that you see it, they have no idea what it was before.
And give us leads, like, you know, the Rotary, tell us where we need to go. Because you guys are,
That's what I'm saying.
let us know, and we'll be there.
Okay.
We'll be there.
That's.
Yeah, I would say it's not just the organizations we're involved with, but I know we're also in different seasons, right? Like we used to come all the time when the kids were little, but now I have a middle schooler and a high schooler. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. But I know that we're all sort of in, so we can help that way as well.
Yes.
To provide that perspective.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna say it again, on the next, I cannot discuss next fiscal year's work plan because it hasn't been approved by the commission, but one of them for sure that is gonna stand, and we're gonna create a teen advisory task force. Because that's our hardest population to, I'm not a teen, and so it's hard, so we guess we'll create a library services task force. We're gonna create a team, made of teens. What do they want? Let us know what they want so we can do that. So that thinking about other teenagers, you know, so that's one of our goals for next year's work plan is to create an teen advisory committee or task force to tell us what would they want in our libraries. So all of us working together.
I mean, you guys are doing a fantastic job.
Where we can go ahead and move on to outreach.
Already outreach everybody.
And speaking about talking to our community at length, I am Courtney Taylor. I am the Library Services Coordinator, and I will be discussing outreach. So talking to our public in any form and fashion. We've continued this month to outreach within our own organization through our LPP classes and having our people there help learn different parts of the library. So today, well, after our meeting, we took a tour over to the Dynamo so that people from Public Works and from police and fire could all see the wonderful things here because they were stuck here anyway for a meeting. We got done early so that we can get yet another person talking positively about the library. So we're going to move to the next slide to one of our first outreach events for September. I know we discussed last meeting about having the zoo and their wonderful book of Mr. Rocket in the giraffe. We were there for the Kids Appreciation event and were able to see over 1,048 people during this outreach event. We were able to talk to different members from communities that were not just Brownsville. We had people from San Benito, Harlingen, and from San Antonio also at the event, who we got to talk to about library services and let them know that we are available for all of Texas to be able to get a library card and to use our electronic resources, as well as to give different giveaways. Our Makerspace advisors gave 2 wonderful giraffe bookends that we were able to 3D print that were part of their raffle for the Kids Appreciation Day for extra goodies. And as you can see, Miss Lexis was able to hand out free books and our informational packages of our services, as well as different bookmarks and other items that we were able to get over there. We had a really good time being amongst our community in such a big way again with a lot of people. And we were able to create a different program based on the outreach from here that we'll be able to go to see people in October for different events from different organizations who are also helping during this time. Next slide, please. Housing Authority had their back to school bash. Part of this was part of our CSLAC One Books, One Community, One Brownsville initiative, in which we gave out books of our selected title, Camilla Full of Wishes. They gave backpacks to the community members, and then we additionally gave service bags and packets, as well as some dino squishies to grow on our dino walls and some fidgets to help promote focusing. This event allowed us to see another 258 people. And we were able to engage 2 different school members that are part of low income housing authority. Next slide, please. This is one of the events that our makerspace was able to go to for us. It was the Brownsville Community Health Center's Keeper Kids event. So they did generalized packets, and as you can see, Mr. Anthony brought his wonderful, wonderful or hammer axe awesomeness along with him, which was a giant hit there at the event. I believe he also printed off Dr. Strange as part of their raffles and giveaways. We were able to see an additional 152 people, and they did do follow-up for wanting makerspace outreach events in October and possibly November. Next slide, please. The La Vida Apartments did their back to school bash. This is one of the events that our children's librarians helped us with. We were able to see 42 additional patrons at this event, and they did promoting of our services, giving out flyers, and interacting with the rest of our community. Next slide, please. This was our first event for the Mexican consulate of this month. We were able to see an additional 43 patrons outside of the library. They brought up points about our notary services and continuing those applications for it, as well as asking about how we can integrate more Spanish language into that. Right now, we do offer that we will help people who speak Spanish with notary services, but a lot of it has to do with the legal continuity of the document. So the one that we get asked about the most that starts in Spanish has to do with BISD and where the child is located, and we can help for that type of form. But when it is an official legal document, that's a little bit more than we're able to kind of translate and comprehend. So we're working on other ways to do additional services with them. And when we continue on in our presentation, you'll see that we also did a bigger event with the Mexican consulate this month that we're talking about, as well as the consulate also helped interview us as part of their collaboration to speak to some Spanish TV stations in regards to our adult computer classes. So they will be promoting those as well as part of their collaboration. Next slide, please.
If you ever have any like legal talks, the Cameron County Bar Association has different brown bag lunches. They're targeted to attorneys, but occasionally do events just open to the public. So if there's specific topics you're hearing that you think there would be interest about, yeah, definitely let me know and I can see.
Every now and then from immigration. Get a lot, not only that they want notarized, but help filling out the paperwork for it, which unfortunately, since we're not licensed attorneys or know anything about immigration, we are unable to assist them.
Right, you have to be careful with that.
And I did not even know you all offered notary service.
Maribel and with Ruth.
It's by scheduled appointment, Monday through Friday. We do accept walk-ins when we have the staff available to do it, just because we only have the 2 notaries at this time, and they do move between both branches when it's scheduled. Going on our outreach adventures, we were able to talk to the farmers market. On the 20th, we were able to see,
So I feel like I need to say one more thing. about
Okay,
that.
go for it.
What's important to know about this is in Mexico and Latin American countries, when they hear the term notario, I mean,
Mhm.
attorney down there,
Yeah.
they may think they're talking to a notary, talking to an attorney. I'm sure you've probably heard.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to explain the difference in what.
You're not-
Yeah,
also at the consulate, when we're speaking to them, we do notate that it is not a legal aid representative or an attorney, just because of the translations of the verbiage. But we are working with the consulate to see if there's ways that they could help a little bit better. And we help like more with printing services or something on case. But we're definitely hoping that that'll,
Right, not, no advice.
yeah, we try to help as best as we can without getting ourselves stuck. Okay, so we did go for the first time to the farmer's market this past month. We were able to see 321 additional patrons. We did luck out that the Brownsville Wellness Coalition did agree to move our stand, so we were on the main fairway at that time. We were popular for our bags so that they could put their additional farmers market stuff in, as well as for the 3D printed bookmarks and little doodads. So that's how we were drawing the little kids in. We even had some dogs who wanted to come and grab some of our stuff just to help collate with us. So we were able to give them some safe toys as well. But we will be going back to this for this next month. We are working on procuring additional bag resources to take to these types of events. Next slide, please. This was our bigger event for the Mexican consulate. As you can see, the consulate was so appreciative that they gave Serenade and our staff a certificate of appreciation for coming and speaking during their labor event. This labor event had different organizations all giving services to the public in both English and Spanish, who were able to help them with jobs and workforce training, which we were able to discuss kind of that we have notary, that we do workforce training, that we have computer classes and additional services to help them really promote themselves here and help with continuity in jobs and their own educational careers. During that event, they were able to have over 73 attendees, and it was more of a collaborative effort through Amigo Landmo. So it was very nice to be able to see all these other organizations here with us as well. Next slide. So for outreach, we're at the questions portion. Anybody have any other suggestions, comments, queries on outreach before we move on?
I have one thought. TSC is no longer gonna be using TRG libraries.
Mhm.
So when she mentioned a memorandum of understanding, I don't know if that would be possible, but I know that they're gonna have a digital library, but they're not gonna have a physical. So I don't know if that's something, I know we used to have a combined, I know except we're not. We used to have a combined TSC Brownsville library.
yes, and most of the students from TSC usually go to the Southmost Library. And especially now that we open earlier, and so normally that's where they go because it's much quieter. So they have some study areas, but again, the memorandum of understanding. There hasn't been, but we just need to promote what we have to offer. That's gonna,
So maybe that would be a place for outreach.
Yeah.
Go.
TSC, yeah.
Share what
Yeah.
they have.
We've also gone to a couple of their events when they're promoting for their to bring in students to TSC.
Oh.
The recruiting drives, yes, there we go. And we do have our bibliotech locations through our housing authority that have the digital libraries. And we do have a memo of understanding with them to provide duplicate services of our electronic programming here. So we should be able to kind of discuss whether TSC wants to get on board with that, or if they just would like us to continue our services with our library cards and they'll further promote it, we can talk to their administration to see how they'd like to work with that. And then on a personal note, my child, as I've said, is now a high schooler. And one of her programs that she's doing is she is dual enrollment with TSC. So I'll see if she has a collaborator there to be able to kind of further our reach. Maybe she internally knows something I don't. Our next section that we have is also presented by me, if you guys are willing to move on.
We can go ahead and move on.
All right, so Mr. Anthony mentioned grants recently in his presentation. So this is going to be a couple of our grant updates. This is not all of the grant updates, just in the continuity of time management. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned during outreach, we were dealing with our TSLAC One Book, One Community, One Brownsville grant, which was based off of Texas Museums and Archives Commission, and the Library Institute were able to provide us funding of $9,850. This was to allow us to do our One Book, One Community, One Brownsville Reads program, in which we purchased books of Matt de la Pena for Carmela Full of Wishes. We did purchase 650 physical copies. This is 500 in English and 150 in Spanish, as well as electronic versions, which includes ebooks, e-audios in both languages. We created our craft, which was 500 packets. It was a dandelion craft that showed not just how we deal with dreams and our wishes, which is part of our story, but also the life cycle of dandelions and other usages. And we did our online campaign where we created a YouTube playlist where we had our staff doing the reading of the book in English, doing the craft time for both situations. And then we had the author, Matt de la Pena, talking about what it is to grow up in a Hispanic community. Where he was growing up was in parts of California, but it mirrored kind of a border town feel and really integrating reading at a young age and what you could turn into when dealing with reading. So we did have 5 distribution events for this, as well as we promoted this event specifically during 9 different outreaches. We have expensed all the funds. We have been reimbursed all of these funds, and we have finished our reporting for this grant. The only thing that may be pending for this grant is towards December. TSLAC does their own auditing. So if we are chose to do our auditing program, we'll let you know for that. Does anyone have any comments on this particular grant or any questions? Nope, we good. Okay. Next slide, please. One of the grants that Anthony was talking about is we were awarded CDBG's 2022-2023 grant for our Makerspace laser. One of the things that I need to be fairly clear about in this instance is this grant is specifically for Southmost due to its
The main branch does not qualify for CDBG.
I can see one.
no, Mr. Guerra, I'm presenting. Continue on.
Good one.
Oh,
Give me the sergeant.
no, this
Thank you,
is specifically for the Southmost branch, but that does not mean that we are not purchasing and procuring these for the main branch as well. We're just using different funding resources for it. But because Southmost is determined as a low-income population, that allows us to qualify for the CDBG grants. So the equipment requested for this will be one Dell computer with monitor to help us with our 3D printers. We'll be able to get 2 Altmaker Pros and a CNC laser machine. Activities for this grant will include 1 project opening and 3 equipment learning dates, where the Makerspace staff will promo what this machine can do. After these events have occurred for each machine, after the first machine gets done, they will move on to allow it to be used as makerspace equipment through checkout and appointment. Each equipment will be used for public use after that learning event, so that we'll be able to fulfill more stats, get the public involved, and bring them additional tools. I will let Makerspace determine and show you at a later time what all these magical machines can do, because I just helped them find funding. And there is a match as part of this grant. Our match was our staff time, which is paid through our city budget, as well as that we're buying equipment for main branch. Any questions on this that either Anthony or I could? No, we're good? Okay.
Other than the fact that she put me in my place.
Sometimes, sir,
You have to do what you have to do.
I gotta make sure I get my thought out before I lose it. So next slide has the CSLAC Special Projects Grant for fiscal year 2023. We also applied for Makerspace equipment. This has the Special Project Grant 25 because it is for a one-year option. We are only doing this as a one-year programming update so that we can keep continuity. They do offer a 3-year at a 75,000 grant portion, but there is a lot more red tape and continuity in their equipment buying and projecting. So the project title for this is Design a More Creative Future. The funding for this was provided through Texas State and Libraries Archives Commission, as well as the Institute of Museum and Library Services. This will be for both branches. It is funded fully in this grant for both branches. And the grant period runs from September 1st to August 31st of 2023. We're hoping that we will have equipment in around March and be able to start that programming. This equipment includes 2 glow forges, 2 iMac computers, 2 DeskJet printers that are the large format printers, so that you could potentially do like your high school senior banners, you could do business posters, things like that. And a sublimation printer, which will allow you to design and print your own fabric, as well as kind of hold the design down using press. Activities for this event are based on Makerspace events, which will be introduction events, much like CDBG, where they will program equipment to show you kind of an initial project of what you could use this for, which they'll be given free supplies for at that event. And then additionally, they'll be able to check it out during regular business hours. Does anybody have any questions in regards to this grant?
So everyone knows what glow forge is.
So it's a laser engraver, basically. Smaller.
Equipment's gonna be in both branches.
That's this one.
So,
And on the other branch as well, both branches are getting equipment just at different times because different fundings.
And I may add that recently, we hadn't had a grant for a long time, since 2012. But in this year and a half, especially after Courtney took over, we've been focusing on grants that to further enhance our services. So we shoot for the grant, and I don't think we've been denied very few times as far as grants. So I think only one that was denied. But so we were selective in the grant that we applied for, and you can see Courtney and I go back and forth, but she's very passionate about this. In fact, she says in a quote, "I like doing this," and that's very important to me. So we got to make sure that we aim for the grants that are really important for our patrons and for our staff. And our staff, they just do the grant. I just didn't go for it, and they're even coming with the title. I don't get involved in nothing like that. We try to limit getting grants with staffing, because that could get you in trouble. But as far as equipment and services, basically whatever they want to do, I'll support them. So again, I'm very proud of what all the staff have been doing as far as grants. They know what the parameters are. We don't want to go too high, because we don't want to commit, normally most of our commitments in kind. We don't want to commit our budget to something that is gonna basically tie our hands, but she's very good at what she does. She's very passionate what she does. So thank you, Courtney.
And I just want to say, I really do appreciate everything that you all are doing. I see the growth. And I've seen the news mural at the Southmost Library. If you haven't seen it, it is beautiful. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm excited about all the different programs that you have. It seems like we are covering all our bases. We have programs for pretty much everything. So I really appreciate it.
Libraries.
And there's more to come. It's just little by little with our budget. We're very innovative in how we do things. And only time and creativity and thought. And the most important thing is this is not my idea. This is their idea. I'm just a facilitator. And it's about that. As you can see, they talk passionately about it. Thank you for your support. I really mean it. And it's been awesome. It's only the beginning. We have more things to do.
Are there any other comments, questions?
Thank you to all of you for the work that you do.
I can't stop highly commending the tremendous game that we have made for the kids in Brownsville. In both all sections of towns. I mean, it's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, if there are no more comments, we have come to the end of our meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Second.
All right, all in favor to adjourn this meeting? Aye. All right, meeting has been adjourned.
I do need to ask you, it's cognizant of your time. In this time frame, we can reduce the amount of talking points. I want to make sure that I don't
No, I
use your time.
I don't think
No.
Okay,
they do an excellent job of presenting what each one of them is doing
Okay.
in their different areas.
so your time is very important to us. So let us know if it's too much, we can slow it down.
There's a lot going on.
Okay, okay.
Wow.
I apologize, Mr.
Huh?
I tried to apologize, Mr. Kennedy.
No,
You just
that-
kept
that's
on
what I'm about.
interrupting me.
I was thinking,
Y'all look kind of early.